Good afternoon, dear participants. We'll be starting our second section by about 2:15. Kindly hold on till that time. Thank you. The highest purpose of education is to unlearn what we once took for granted, to replace certainty with subtle, prejudice with compassion, and destiny with possibility. A very good afternoon, everyone. I, Geo George, Assistant Professor at the Department of Management Studies, invite you all for this session section of the 5-day FTP on the topic Teaching Pedagogy and Placements. Now, I would like to invite our HOD ma'am, Dr. Lakshmi, to give the welcome speech. Over to you, Lakshmi ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Gio. Good afternoon, one and all present here. It's my immense pleasure to welcome you all for the second session of today's program on teaching pedagogy and placements. I welcome our beloved chairman, Dr. Thomas P. John, administrator, principal, Sister Rosemary Balappa, IQAC director, Dr. C. Karthikeyan, all HODs, faculties and participants to the last session of FDB. I wholeheartedly welcome our resource person for sharing his thoughts on teaching pedagogy and placements. Placement has traditionally been an important component of professional educational program. There is a link between classroom preparation, placement quality, and program coherence. Teaching pedagogy and placement has a positive direct impact on knowledge and general competency. With the aim to understand the relative importance of placement quality and teaching pedagogy through this FDP, I wholeheartedly welcome you all to this session. Thank you. Over to you, Gio, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Pedagogy is not about training. It's about critically educating people to be self-reflective, capable of critically addressing their relationship with others and with the larger world. Pedagogy, in this sense, provides not only important critical and intellectual competencies, it also enables people to intervene critically in the world. Now, I would like to invite Assistant Professor Lokesh Sir, Training and Placement in charge, to introduce the guest speaker for the session. Over to you, Lokesh Sir.
Thank you, Gio sir. Mr. Anthony Furman Alexander is a former education consultant based out of Chennai. He carries more than 10 years of plus experience in companies like IBM, WNS Global, and Wipro. He's a founder of FMBC, an initiative focusing on goodwill consulting, socially responsible functionaries, educational initiatives, institutional branding, creating entrepreneur and business expansion strategies. He's also an affiliate partner of MyQuest, a platform to help organizations transform their training programs into experimental learning journeys. Their clients include Shell and Boeing, to name a few. Mr. Anthony is also Director of Students Development Cell at Sri Aditya Degree College, Chennai. Prior to that, he worked as a consultant at Stella Maris College, Chennai. He had also headed the training department at Dhanalakshmi College of Engineering. Presently, Mr. Anthony is an institutional partner for Dia Academy, which is into training on robotics and IoT to help students develop the 21st century skills through an industry-oriented international curriculum. On behalf of the entire management, I would like to invite Mr. Anthony to this wonderful FB program of today. Thank you so much. Welcome, sir. I would hand over the mic to Mr. Gio.
Thank you, Lokesh sir. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Anthony Alexander to deliver the keynote address. Over to you, sir.
Is my voice audible now? Okay, fantastic. First of all, thanks to each and everyone who have given this opportunity to me, and my heartfelt thanks to each and every faculty over there who are present across today for the session. So today it's going to be a session mainly in terms of the teaching and the connectivity with the industry. Is my voice better?
Yes, sir. Your voice is audible, sir.
Properly?
It's audible, sir. Yes, sir. It's properly audible, sir.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay. So this is mainly about teaching and the expectations of the industry. So yeah, is it audible or?
Yes, sir. It is audible, sir. Yes, sir. It is audible, sir. So please continue forward, sir. It's audible.
Yeah. Can I go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Nagaran sir, can I go ahead?
Yes, sir. Please go forward, sir.
So I'm audible, right? Properly?
Yes, sir. You're audible, sir.
Fantastic. Okay, fantastic. So let me start with the session. So first of all, wishing everyone a wonderful day ahead. And this is mainly about the, as I told you, the teaching and the expectations from the industry. Okay, so where do we connect? So where, as the institutions and where as mainly the faculties connect with the industries, and how is it we can look at a better industry driven and a very much strongly associated industry associated faculties mainly. So what is required as of today for the students? So do they need only their skills of learning and skills of academics and the skills of the values? Is that enough, or do they need something more than that, or do they need something more stronger, more practical in the industry? So that is what we are going to talk about, and this is mainly a session wherein driving the energy of students towards getting them, towards gearing them up for the industry. So gearing them up for the industry is one bigger challenge which always institutions face. Am I right? And what happens is it happens so parallelly that these students always have a big challenge when it comes to the knowledge which they need to get. So let it be in terms of the interview skills, or let it be in terms of their industry knowledge, or let it be in terms of their knowledge and what all corporates are there. Okay, so they do have a very less knowledge. They do have a pretty much lack of knowledge, because mainly they don't want to get into that segment when they are into their academics, and they want to focus on that when the time comes. But on the other hand, it is always better that that particular that that precious knowledge is being given to them from time to time, and is being given to them from their start of their academics. Okay, so this is what we are going to talk about. It is about inclusive of the industry knowledge among the teachers, and among the faculties, and among the HODs, okay, etc., wherein we inbuilt into the mechanism of the institution that the students' expectation goes bigger and bigger, and we go beyond that. So whatever they want to learn on the industry skills, or they want to learn about their interview skills, or about the group discussions, etc., so we offer them sessions, and we give them sessions to the next level. So that's what we are going to mainly look at today. I'm going to share with a small presentation so we can have this sharing. Yeah, is my presentation viewable?
Yes, sir. It is visible, sir.
Can everyone see my presentation? Can someone answer me?
So if you can put it in the landscape mode, it will be much better, sir.
Nagaraj sir, can you see my presentation?
Yes, sir.
Is my presentation visible?
Yes, sir. It is visible, sir.
Yeah, Nagaraj sir or Jansi ma'am, is my presentation visible? I just wanted to know.
Sir, it is in a landscape mode, sir. Sorry, it's in a portrait mode, sir. Can you please turn it to a landscape mode? I think now your screen is visible, sir. I think you have shared your screen now. You can stop sharing it again. You can start resharing it once again, sir. So it will be better. What I feel.
Nagraj, sir, you're there?
Sir, yes, we can see only.
Yeah,
I think you have shared your screen, entire screen, sir.
yeah. I just wanted to know if yeah, just check out if it is presentable now. Is it okay now? Can you
It's
see now?
okay. Can you turn it in a landscape mode, sir? Horizontal way. It will be good.
In a horizontal?
Yeah. We need it in a portrait mode, sir. In a horizontal, if you can keep your device in a horizontal direction, so the presentation is going to rotate, so that in computers we're gonna see it in a full screen.
Okay. Is my presentation? You can view it now, right?
Yeah, we can view it. Turn your device, sir. Put it in a horizontal.
Okay. You want me to be
Yes.
on the horizontal
Yes.
mode, right? Yeah. Yeah. One sec.
Yeah, that's great, sir. Can you share your?
Yeah. Is it okay now?
Yeah, please share your PPT, sir.
Yeah. I'm sharing it. Yeah.
Is it done? Okay. Sir, are you done, sir?
Yeah. You can see it now.
Okay, sir. You can go ahead, sir. You can go ahead. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So this is, as I told you, mainly on the segment of the connectivity with the industry. So let's start with our presentation. So as the first slide says, it is mainly about industry ready institutions. So how industry ready we are, and how well the institutions connect with the industry, and how well the placements happen. Okay, how well the students understand about placements, that they need to take the extra care and they need to take up the extra effort, so they accordingly act in the career and they go to the next level. Okay, and how the faculties as well give the knowledge to the students from time to time, and part of their academics, how they can get into the industry and how they can get into a job. Okay, so that is something wherein mainly the students as well need it, and the students as well very much require from time to time. And in the coming days, it's going to be one of the vital role wherein every student is going to need that guidance and need that extra support, which we are going to talk about. So let's go with our first segment on corporate association. So I'm just going to quickly run through and give some time for any of the question and answers so we can have a discussion. So the first one on the corporate associations. So mainly we talk about, so what we talk about here, mainly how we engage with the corporates and how well we give place for the corporates. So we bring in a better visibility and we bring in a better understanding among the corporates. So that is what we mainly talk about, and that is going to also give a lot of value addition to the students end of the day. So that's what we look at, and also value additions to the faculty as well, because mainly when we look at such a scenario, we also make the reach to a lot of the corporates, right? So that the first point on value addition programs for corporates. So what are kind of value addition programs we look at, and what are kind of programs we involve part of our academics? So this is what mainly we talk about. So do we add any of the required skill sets from the corporates into our academics, and do we actually make a person, an employer, sit in a classroom so they can observe what is going on and what is the understanding of the students, whether they are understanding well towards their future jobs. Okay, and the next would be on increase on employability scope. Okay, so here I would like to add some important points. Like when it comes to the employability scope, mainly this is something wherein which has to be there from the beginning itself. So from the beginning, the student starts the career. So I strongly believe that this has to be inculcated in their habit. So it has to be a kind of habit inculcated into them. So they get to understand that what is it they're going to do next, and mainly when it comes to the employability scope, they need to understand and they need to get the understanding each and every semester or each every month. Okay, so there is an assessment whenever we talk about assessing students, or giving the credentials to the students. So this industry knowledge should also be the credentials so they understand and they move to the next step. And the last one would be mainly on training on the corporate access. So what all trainings can be given? What all opportunities can be shown to them? So they get involved and they get a lot associated access, and they get trained very well in order they reach to the corporates. For example, I have been on sessions with a lot of institutions, mainly in terms of upgrading the students' industry skills. So what we observe is they even lack the basic group discussion skills. Okay, so when they are asked to do a group discussion, they don't have any clue because they have not underwent anything in the past and they have not gone into any of such activities. So these sort of activities are going to help them out. For example, a mock interview. A mock interview is for every student every semester. It's going to help them out. It's going to give them something to build on and something to move on in the career. Okay, so these are a few of the points as the first outset, and second would be on strengthening the research-based projects. So mainly, what do we talk about here? Mainly in terms of strengthening the projects, and we talk about few points here for upgrading the faculty's latest trends. So the concept of research, does it comes to any student? So why a student has to know about research, and why the student has to learn about research? So this is something mainly when it comes to the research. Yeah, it is going to help out the students, and it is also going to guide them how the market works and what all things they need to get adhered, or they need to get prepared. So those sort of things they really get into and they start to learn, right? So the research plan or doing the research or conducting a proper market research, these sort of things, when given updates to the students, I think there's going to be a lot of difference which comes in, and there's going to be a lot of huge impact on the student minds, because they're going to learn in and out of how they can do a research. And when they learn about how to do a research, they automatically learn about a lot of things. They don't learn about demand and supply, and they learn about the manufacturing challenges, and they learn about the business challenges. They learn about FMEA. So they learn about different sub processes automatically. So these sort of learnings should be given, and also this has to be included in the syllabus as the next point which talks about. This can also be included in the syllabus, mainly wherein we can connect to the students often on this research-based learning, and they can learn a lot of things. And in the future as well, when they are doing research-based learnings, so it's going to help them out a lot in their career and in their life as well, right? So those are the few slides. Can I go with the next one, or does anyone have any questions? Sure, yeah. Yeah, so the next one would be mainly on industry visit in the campus. So, do we do this? Do we find time to do this really? Yeah. So some places, yeah, we do it, but in most of the places, there might be a lag, right? That every one of us know. So why this is required? This is mainly required for the knowledge of the students, for them to acquire the knowledge, and for them to move to the next level, to even understand about how the industry works. So the industry visit in the campus helps with that particular segment, and it gives a strong knowledge to them, and any point of time it is also accessible to them. So we have faculties with industry knowledge, especially, okay, which we have discussed, and inviting industry specialists. So inviting the industry specialist often is going to give a lot of weightage, because when we are inviting the industry specialists, they are going to not only teach, and they're not only going to impart the knowledge, but they're also going to bring in some value down the line, and they are also going to add a lot of creative processes, a lot of industry driven expertise they're going to carry along with them, right? So that's the next one, and the next one will be internship program. So mainly I want to talk about this internship program, especially because this is one such essential segment, and this program normally happens only for a specific duration of time, right, to the student. So this has to be taken up as a special initiative, and as a very joyful initiative for the students, so they start to learn a lot of things out of the internships. And when they regularly do it, when they start to do it, it is also going to give them a lot of value addition, a lot of knowledge, and also it is going to create an interest from within for them. Okay, so end of the day, it's going to create an interest for them, and also it's going to create an interest for the faculty as well, right, and for the institution as well. And the next one will be mainly on exposure on the job trainings. Okay, so on the job trainings, yeah, that is again, this is another kind of internships segment, and you have the training in your job, right? So these sort of sessions as well is going to help them, and when we're going to motivate them towards the on-the-job training, so they can also learn a lot of things end of the day. Okay, and then we are coming to one of the main topic called mentor for students, right? So how many of us be as a mentor for the students, and we reach to them as a mentor, okay, and we deliver them the messages as a mentor, okay? So this has to be developed from within, and I strongly believe that this is something which is very essential, because when we are being a mentor to a student, it automatically helps them to move to the next level in their career, and to move in their personal life, or to deal with their faculty, or deal with their future corporate employers. So it's going to help them a lot. So what we have mentioned is, we have mentioned industrial mentor and life-based mentor. So industrial mentor is something mainly providing knowledge to the students in their concerned sector, right? So they want to go into manufacturing, or they want to go into designing, or they want to get into engineering. So whichever segment they want to get into, so it's a knowledge, it's a sector-based learning to them. So being an industrial mentor also gives them a lot of value addition. It gives a lot of respect from the mentor who gives it. And then mainly the mentoring segment goes into internship and project assistance. So these two are the main segments wherein they would need the assistance. And then life-based mentor. Based mentor. It's about regular training to the students mainly ensuring them that they excel in the life. So it's something on the personal life and also how they can excel on their personal life and on their life skills and especially on the relationship management, on being a leader, etc. Okay, and then with the interview skills and the personal trainings as well. Okay, and then we come into the employer connect. So employer connect, as I told you, yeah, it's something which is pretty much required, and also something wherein a lot of value additions get into shape. So this employers connect needs to be there from the classroom. So from the classroom, when the students are being taught or when they are being given the learnings, okay. So from there, the employer connect needs to start, and it has to get in that value and get in that association with every student that they are, yeah, connected with an employer, and they are very much in the limelight of an employer, and they need to learn a lot of things. Okay, so how this can be done? So this has to be mainly created a connect with the industry and with the concerned. Let's say, for example, there are 5 categories of students. So we deal with them and we operate with them like those 5 categories, what kind of employer they can best guide them and can best give them the inputs, so they automatically learn and get into that segment. So this is how the employer connect can be created, and also this can be improved a lot semester by semester, because every semester the student can also upgrade themselves and move to the next level. Okay, and they can also have a lot of upgradations and value additions on this, so they learn a lot about that industry mainly, and this connect will help them probably in their interview process. Okay, when they're going in for an interview, most of the students might blink, right? They don't even know to attend the interview. That might be a bigger problem most of the cases, right? So here, when they have this connect, they will understand how interview goes and what are all the expectations from the employer and what they would ask, what kind of questions would be there, etc. Okay, and then for example, when they are joining a job, okay, so they wouldn't be having that sort of dilemma that which sort of job they need to join or which industry is the best industry. So these are all few of the segments which the employer connect mainly comes into picture, and this is one of its new kind which can give a lot of knowledge. Okay, when we talk about employer in the classroom, okay, and it can give a lot of value additions as well. Okay, and then the next one would be, yeah, I'm just coming to the end. Just yeah, yeah. So on the employer connect, we can see work-based learning and employer in the lecture room. Okay, so to give the maximum amount of knowledge, and then we come to the segment of coach and a mentor mainly. Yeah, so over here, what we talk about, so a few of the points on mentoring the faculty and students. So what this talks about, so this is something mainly giving the faculty and the students what sort of learning needs to be driven and what sort of learning needs to be given to make the students industry ready and to make them ready for the future or for tomorrow. Okay, and those sort of learnings finally gets into the students from the faculty, so the value chain very much better. Yeah, is my voice audible? Okay, okay, okay. Okay, sure, sure, sure. Because I got a call from Jansi ma'am. That's why I just asked. Yeah, I'm sharing it. I'm sharing it. Yeah. Yeah, I got it. I got it. Yeah. Yeah. So this is now you can see my screen. It's visible. Okay. Okay. It's okay, right? Perfect, right? Fantastic. Okay. Yeah. So being a coach and a mentor. So we have next increasing the employability. So what do we talk about here? So we are not only going to mentor the students on their knowledge, but we should be investing in the mind that the employability has to be increased. So let it be to a group of students or let it be to the student leaders. Okay. So each and every one of them need to thrive towards such a scenario. Okay. And need to thrive towards such a wonderful initiative, because what happens is normally when we thrive towards this, okay, automatically the goal gets driven, and it automatically, the result is seen, the result is also visible. Okay, so that is what happens. And then it is obvious, so obvious that this is a bigger goal, this is not a smaller goal, this is very big. Okay, so this is bigger in the sense, to achieve this goal, it's going to be tougher. It's not easy, because increasing the employability is a very big challenge, and it's a very huge challenge, wherein lot of brilliant minds and lot of management folks even think a lot of how they can bring in this employability, and they can invest on this employability driven skills. Okay, and especially giving the students the learning that how employability can drive them, and can bring them to get them to bigger heights. Okay, and then the next one would be on improvise the industrial knowledge and interest among the students. So what is this? So the the industrial knowledge has to be improvised day by day and given them a lot of learnings for them, and the interest among the students. So this is something, again, we are coming to the previous points. Okay, so how we can build in the interest of the students. So when we improvise on the interest of the students, so automatically the students get the interest in their mind and they start to work. So how is it when we want to achieve a goal? Okay, let's say we look at a scenario, and we look in to achieve this goal down the line in 10 years. So what we do is we go and activate small goals. So the bigger goal gets driven, and the bigger goal gets activated, and the bigger goal runs, right? So it automatically gets activated to the next level. So that is what we are talking about there. When we improvise on the interest level of the students, automatically they get to the next level, and they get activated with the with delivering the the special project which we are talking about. Okay, and then with mentoring and learning by faculty. Okay, so what do we talk about here? So mentoring and learning by faculty, right? So mentoring and learning by faculty is something wherein the faculty has to be learned, and also has to be in a, and also they get the opportunity to learn a lot about mentoring the students, how they can be moved to the next level. Okay, and how they can be on their own. Okay, so this is something wherein it mainly talks about how the students can get on their own, right? Because only when they get on their own, they can move on the career, or they can move on their process to the next level, and they can clinch on in the corporate world, right? So it all depends on their interest level. So it is mainly on moving their interest level and also shaping them mainly. So in other words, you can say as mentoring them. So only when the faculties gets mentored accordingly. So what happens then? The student gets mentored, and when the student gets mentored, what happens then? The student gets it delivered, and when they deliver, for example, let's say a particular institution, let's say TJC's institution students, so they get delivered and they get activated towards doing a brilliant job in getting industry ready, okay, and they are being mentored by the faculty. Very big impact created in the society, that these students are being mentored to do like this, and they're being mentored to move to the next level in the career. So they get invested of this quality in their mind, and they travel towards a big time goal. Okay, so that's what we talk about. And then the next one mainly on splitting the students as groups. Okay, so what it is for? So I think most of faculties over here, we should be aware about splitting the students as group, right? So what happens immediately? So once when we talk about splitting the students as group, immediately we call in for the different numbers, and we split the groups, right? So here mainly when we talk about groups, okay, so we are going to split the students on specific groups depending on their industry readiness, depending on their academic style, depending on their selection of the career. Okay, so what happens end of the day, when they are being opted in specific groups, and when they deliver, okay, automatically they start to get the value addition in groups. They start to get the benefits in groups. They start to get the learnings in groups. They start to get their pain points in groups. They discuss in the group. And what happens when they discuss in the group? They get the solution either, or they don't get the solution. They travel so long for the solution. Okay, whatever happens, it becomes a learning for them. And all of those students get in one group. Okay, so let's say 5 different groups and 5 different categories. So these 5 different categories will get expertise down the line. Okay, so that's the complete strategy behind which we're talking about. And they will get 5 different conceptuals, 5 different strategical ideas and SWOT analysis, and their career planning, and their industry knowledge, and the reach to the industry, and to the reach to the managers, or reach to the business heads, whatever. Okay, so they will become a powerful group, and they will find solution by themselves. So that's what we talk about. Okay, so I would be mainly requesting out of this session, so there should be an output out of the session, right? Each session which we do, right? So we invest in a lot of time, right? So this session mainly I would request, when the students are being put in a group with the expertise, so they can learn, so they can experience, so they can come across new things. Okay, so what happens is they will move to next level in the career, and it doesn't end over there. Okay, on the next step, we also do have something called as observing the groups. So once we form the group, it doesn't goes that, yeah, the group is formed and things are done. No, so we get in, we observe the groups. So what happens in those groups, and how they are delivering, and how they are observing, and how they are going to the next level, that is their understanding. Okay, so and what is it they have in their expectations. Okay, so all of that, how it's being done, and how they are progressing in the group, mainly the progress needs to be overwatched, and they need to be also guided when it is required, especially. And when they are being guided, automatically they're going to get the interest level. Okay, so folks, I'm coming to the almost to the end of sessions. So I guess we can have the question and answer session. Probably, Jancy ma'am, can we have the question and answer session another 5 minutes? Is that okay? Or when you want to have the question and answers? Yeah, so I've got another 2 minutes. So can we have the question and answer session now, or should I put it after 5 minutes? Sure, sure. Sure. They can post it, and I just have two more slides. Can I just finish it quickly? Fantastic. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm very much honored and very much glad to present our projects which we have already started in the field, and we have started to drive it among the students community. So the first project which we are looking at mainly is in in terms of designing the values of human, designing the value of students. Okay. So what we look at here, so as the project says, I just yeah, so identifying and strengthening the greatest potential of students. So that's what we mainly look at. Okay. So what it is when it comes to identifying and strengthening their potential, right? So every student has got a unique potential in their career or in their life, right? So identifying it and strengthening it is a very big challenge, right? Because that is why we have educational institutions, and that is the reason we have mentors, we have the greatest faculties whom I respect a lot, and that is why we have the folks in the industry and corporates to help them out, right? So this project is mainly about identifying and strengthening the greatest potential of every individual, especially the students community. So with students community, what is that we're going to do? We are going to find out their career skills, and we are going to find out where they are mainly strong in and where they are mainly very keen and they want to travel in the career, and we tap there. So this is called as the project, the human designing. And here what we do, so we mainly prepare them, either they want to be an entrepreneur or they want to get into as an employee, and then we find out their particular taste, where they want to get in and where is their strength. Okay, and then accordingly we mold them, we give them the strength, and we give them the courage that yeah, you can go ahead, you can push in your next level in your career. Okay, so that's what on project human designing which we come out with. And the next project would be a little bit special and little bit interesting. It's called the project interface. So this is something mainly we deal with the students community again, and especially with the educational institutions. So what we're going to do, so we are going to bridge the gap between the educational institutions and the students community and the industries. Okay, so that is where we are mainly going to focus. So whatever I discuss now, so we have started a roadmap there. So that's what I wanted to present, and I wanted to be very happy in presenting to my very dearest folks. And this is what our plan is and how we are going to connect it. So that's the question, right? So we are going to connect on, let it be on projects like internships, guiding the students of how they can complete the internships, and on placements, how they can get placed, and they need a lot of trainings to get placed, right? So on their placements and placement trainings, and on their project assistance, especially, so how they can complete the project. So a lot of students have a big challenge in completing the project, right? So mainly we wanted to focus here and bridge the gap. So every student completes the project with maximum interest and with maximum joy on the face. Okay. So these are all few of the segment which we are connecting with across institutions in India. That's what we are doing. And I would need all your blessings for it. And especially we are going to connect with the industries. So the industries understand and they come out. Yeah, we also need to give the assistance to students so they get industry ready students. So this is called as project the interface. Okay. So these are the two projects which I want to discuss. So I'm completely done with my presentation. And once again, thanks to the management and each and every faculty who are there who are listening. Thanks to each and everyone. Yeah, sir. We can go ahead with the question and answer. Yeah, if for you. Okay. 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 So web programs in the sense, is it website oriented? The question is about? Okay. So what all kind of skills they would need, right? Okay. And for which students? What are the cadre of students? BCA kind, computer applications kind, BCA and MCA? Oh. Okay. Okay. So see, what's his good name? Who asked the question? Yeah, what's his good name? Who asked the question? Krishna Kumar. Yeah. So Krishna Kumar, sir, we have visited, we have been with a lot of institutions. So especially we offer them trainings on their career guidance. Especially when it comes to career guidance, we offer them sessions on group discussions, and we offer them sessions on mock interviews, because mock interviews are being becoming a huge need in the recent days, because need ideas of how they can do the mock interviews, especially, and how they can go for an interview, basically. Okay. So mock interviews, and then enhancing the skills, especially testing the communication skills. So this is something wherein we miss out, and then a huge amount of impact and huge amount of notice is required. So testing the communication skills. So what I would request is we need to test each and every student's communication skills, not in a group or not in 10 or 15 students. Each and every student's communication skills has to be tested. And even I would go furthermore one step ahead, since it's arts and science students, they also need to be tested on their leadership skills. So leadership skills is not only especially for the grown-up people, or only for entrepreneurs, or only for folks who have achieved something big in the industry. It is also for the students. So as a student, we strongly believe that leadership skills is included and is much required for every student, because without leadership skills, they cannot even move to certain attributes in the life, and they cannot even move to certain career upskilling in the life. So they cannot do it. So leadership skills also needs to be taught to them, and mainly I would involve public speaking skills. So what is the ratio of every classroom when it comes to public speaking skills? So that has to be first of all identified. Every student needs to come out and talk, and they need to present themselves. Believe me, sir, it is 100% evident that every one of us have the public speaking skills, and every one of the students can do it. Exceptional to might be some 5 or 6 folks who, it's very tough to get it, but every one of the students can do it. Okay, so especially when we evoke that, when we involve that skill, it's going to give them a huge amount of exposure and also a huge amount of learning. So apart from career upskilling, I would also go with the context of how they can get exposure into the industry. So when it comes to the arts and science students, mainly their exposure to the industry is very important. So they can submit a project every semester. So every semester they can come out with a project. So their evaluation will stand like this. So they will have evaluation on their group discussion, on their skills, skills of communication and leadership, and then they need to submit a project. So they need to submit a project on what? On every semester, they need to submit a project on their industry knowledge, on their industry connect. So that is something, again, we can have a better control. So I think with these we can bring in a better shape, sir. And at any point of time, I'm a call away. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm not able to hear you, ma'am. Can you again go ahead with the question? Yeah, or probably you can put me the question to me. Yeah, ma'am. No, ma'am. It is not going to help. Virtual sessions can give them knowledge, can impart them with knowledge. But on the other hand, I would strongly recommend they should have the classroom sessions. Only then they are going to have the proper knowledge, and they're going to have the practical experience. As I told you, and as I explained in every bit of this presentation. So their practical knowledge, their practical exposure is going to help them. When whatever kind of virtual sessions, it is going to impart some knowledge to them. Okay, for example, I get into a virtual session today, I learn about leadership. So I can learn about leadership to an extent in the virtual session, but I cannot converse with the person, and I cannot ask any questions to the person. I cannot get some learnings from the person, right? So only when these students get the practical knowledge, I strongly believe that only then they will be able to learn. So that's what I said, no spontaneously to you. So only then they will be able to learn, ma'am. And what I strongly believe is how they can get this learning is they need to connect with the industries, and they need to get with the practical sessions, more of practical sessions. So might be if they're having 1 or 2 practical sessions, they need to have 7 or 8 practical sessions. So these sort of elements will help them out, and especially when they go for an industry visit. So these sort of segments will help them out a lot, ma'am. And that is why I've been talking about the projects. So projects will help them a lot. So when, for example, I'm giving a project today, and every one of the participants has to complete the project. So they will be evoked to be exposed to some practical knowledge. So they would have to force themselves to get some practical knowledge. So that is how the knowledge might be coming in completely, ma'am. So this will only give a part of it. And virtual sessions, they are important. I'm not against the virtual sessions, but only to an extent it can give the knowledge. That's what I can put it across, ma'am. Sure. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. Yeah, so that's a wonderful question, Snega, ma'am. And this is mainly about connecting the industry and the academics, as I explained in the very beginning, right? So it's about connecting these two segments. So when it comes to connecting these two segments, mainly either the concepts have to be included in the curriculum itself, right? Either we have to include it in the curriculum, or if it is taking some time, or if it is not happening immediately, let's not wait for it. Let's not wait for it. On the other hand, what we can do is we can get the learnings, involved part of the curriculum. That is, we can take some extra effort, so we teach our kids about the industry knowledge, which might be out of the curriculum, but we give them some special projects, or we give them some special assistance wherein they come to learn, and they evidence that, yeah, this is also something which is important. This is a project out of the scope, but this project teaches me how to get connected with the industry, and how I can well perform in the in tomorrow's job market, or how I can well get connected in the corporate world, or what is it I'm going to do once I become a civil engineer? What is it I'm going to do? How I'm going to upwork, and how I'm going to move up my career? How is it I'm going to play around with my career? How I can be a master in it? Okay, so those sort of skill sets and those sort of learnings, I think it can be given through projects, and it can be given through extra learnings to the students, until and unless we get it involved in the curriculum. So that is what which can be done, because let's not wait. It has to be get involved in the curriculum, and only then we can teach them. So we can also teach them out of the box, and we can also teach them out of the way, and show them that this is what industry about. I'm teaching you. I'm showing it to you. I'm presenting it across to you. Okay. I strongly believe the students will be very happy, very glad, and because each and every one of their learning, even I can remember what I learned in my school days at times. Okay. So I learned about commerce and economics, and until date, I very much like those subjects, because you get a lot of learning from these subjects like commerce and economics. You get a lot of learnings, humongous learnings you get. Okay, because the subjects are too very deeper. Okay, which teaches you a lot of things. So the students, when they learn about these special projects, ma'am, they are going to get a lot of exposure and a lot of value additions, and they are also going to one find they think about that we got the lessons on so and so, and I'm really glad that I learnt it on this particular classroom with this particular faculty. I feel blessed for it. So that we can do, Nancy. Yeah, please. Yeah. Yeah, please go ahead, Praveen. Yeah, you're audible. Yeah. Okay. So I got a question, and the question is part of the industry knowledge, I can say, and especially understanding the industry. Okay. So this is something I think we can put it on to every student who is part of the industry, because part of the institutions, because this is a very vital question. Okay. So the students cannot be made to understand that you need to stay in this company for 2 years, and then you will move, and then you will stay in the next company for 4 years, and then you will move, and then after that you have to stay for 10 years. No, I believe that it is their own wish that they want to choose the career first thing. I'm not putting it very much freedom of thoughts on the students' part, but it is. I'm just presenting a point. And second, mainly we need to inculcate into them. So we can inculcate into them that you would need to understand that you got to sustain in the industry. You need to be in one place. Okay. So that kind of learnings can be given to them. See, and the third point would be, it is not that they move out because they want to go out for a different option, but they move out. Most of the employees move out because they don't have another option. So that's one of the main reason wherein they move out of company, right? So when it comes to those sort of issues, I think it depends completely on the freedom of thought. But on the other hand, what we can do is we can inculcate to the students that you need to sustain in the market. Only then you're going to get the knowledge. You will become a master in that particular industry. Okay. And you will be able to excel in that industry. Right. So let it be any market. You become an entrepreneur, or you become an employee, or you become a boss. Okay. Whatever. But sustain in the market. Wherever you are getting in, or wherever you are reaching after a couple of options. So you come to know that what is your goal in your life, right? When you identify that, and when you recognize that, especially, what you need to do is, immediately they need to clinch on. They need to immediately get going, and they need to immediately uh, get their uh, mind and heart completely into what they do. Okay. So only then they will get clinch on to the industry, because see, it might take a couple of years, or a couple of moments, a couple of companies for them to identify where they are strong, right? So it might take, because you cannot all of a sudden, once you go into a company and you start to learn and you get settled with the job, right? For example, if let's take for example myself. If I've got a passion into a particular segment. So I wouldn't be able to reflect it, or I wouldn't be able to identify it unless and until I start to work on it, right? Or I start to work on for a couple of companies, right? So it will take some time. So that breathing period is also there. But on the other hand, we can put into the students that, as I told you, we can tell them that once you get fixed with your career, you need to clinch on. You need to be solid there. So that's what you can do. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Sure. 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 Yeah. So we'll connect with 3:30, isn't it? Okay. Okay. So should I disconnect now? Okay. Sure.
Good evening to one and all. Technology will not replace great teachers, but technology in the hands of great teachers can be transformational. George Couros, he said, I quote, after a week-long learning of technical pedagogy in academics, finally we have reached the valedictory ceremony of the faculty development program entitled Technical Pedagogy for Empowering Sustainable Advances in Higher Education. On behalf of Tejon College, a hearty welcome to you all. Prayer is the beginning of establishing a proper relationship with God. God says, prayer is one of the ways in which man cooperates with God. May I now request Dr. Jency Priyadarshini, Assistant Professor, Department of Management Studies, to invoke the blessings of the Almighty. Over to you, ma'am.
You are my strength when I am weak. You are the treasure that I seek. You are my all in all. Seeking you as your precious jewel. Lord, to give up, I'd be a fool. You are my all in all. You are my strength when I am weak. You are the treasure that I seek. You are my all in all. Seeking you as a precious jewel. Thought to give up, I'd be a fool. You are my all in all. Jesus, Lamb of God, worthy is your name. Jesus, Lamb of God, worthy is your name. Taking my sin, my cross, my shame, rising again, I bless your name. You are my all in all. When I fall down, you pick me up. When I am dry, you fill my cup. You are my all in all. Jesus, Lamb of God, worthy is your name. Jesus, Lamb of God, worthy is your name. Worthy is your name. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. I now request Ms. Pooja, Assistant Professor, CA Department, to formally welcome the gathering. Over to you, ma'am.
Good evening to each one of you present today. It's my immense bliss to be in front of you this evening to deliver the welcome speech. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome the pillar of our institution, our Honorable Chairman, Dr. Thomas P. John. His endless efforts have made the institution shine and has got the glory. We welcome you, sir. I welcome our administrator, Mr. Roy M. Raju, who has been a great support to all of us. A smile costs less than electricity but brings more light. My next welcome goes to the person who holds such a smile always and who brings more light to our college. I wholeheartedly welcome Principal Sister Rosemary Balappa, who is here with us to motivate and guide us. I would welcome Dr. Karthikeyan C., IQAC Director. We appreciate all his guidance and support in everything we do. and I will welcome the head of all the departments. I bid a very warm welcome to all the renowned speakers and delegates who took out their valuable time and joined us to be a part of this 1 week FTP. We are honored to have you all with us. I would also like to offer my regards to all the participants and the conveyors who made this 1 week FDP on technical pedagogy for empowering sustainable advances in higher education functional in such hard times. Once again, I welcome you all to the valedictory function of FTP. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Pooja ma'am. Now once again, I call Dr. Jansi Priyadarshini, Assistant Professor, Department of Management Studies, to introduce Dr. Thomas P. John, Chairman, T. John Group of Institutions, to the gathering. Over to you, ma'am.
Dr. Thomas P. John is an inspiration to all of us at the T. John Group of Institutions. His achievements are a reflection of his versatility and the vision he embodies. His ambition to disseminate knowledge amongst all the sections of the society has culminated in the state of the art institutions. We proudly stand today with varied courses, all designed along professional lines to give students the privilege of a sound education and a fine foundation for their future careers. Sir is a pioneer in the field of mind engineering and believes very strongly that happiness comes above all. I am proud to share that we are the first institution in India to have a dedicated happiness department. This innovative initiative is one of its kind. I am honored on behalf of T. John College. I welcome our beloved Principal Chairman Sir to this session. Over to you, sir.
Good evening to one and all who are present here this evening for this valedictory program of the 5-day FDP on technical pedagogy for empowering sustainable advances in higher education. Firstly, I congratulate the entire team of T. John College, who along with Principal Sister Rosemary Balappa have initiated this idea of a very demanding topic to assimilate, amalgamate, accommodate, and familiarize the need of the hour of the technical pedagogy to the entire teaching fraternity. We all know the world of education now operates on the learner-centric mode, augmented with technological footprints almost at all levels, right from kindergarten to PhD or even higher levels. Hence, this FDP for the teaching fraternity is a contribution to society at large at this juncture. I am immensely pleased to share that the days of FDP were fruitful, enriching, refreshing, and created an inquisitiveness in the minds where a lot of knowledge has been shared, and it started with the range and depth on the following sustainable areas. Like on the first day, it started with technical, pedagogical, academics and application-based research and project-based learning methods that brought in a few of the newer methodologies that shall sustain and uplift the levels of learning using technology as a tool to involve in higher research while teaching to attain summits in the subjects that are sought after. On day 2, started with cryptocurrency and 5G technology. As you all know, today the world is talking a lot about cryptocurrency and 5G technology, and it is heartening to note that the ability of this FDP program to disseminate knowledge to the teachers about cryptocurrency and 5G technology has been a very successful effort. The day 3 had seasoned experts sharing their expertise and intrinsic issues of food and beverages, as well as session on advancement in illusion software. F&B, learning from traditional methods to augmented technological inputs to take learning to next levels were discussed. The day 4 had effective communication skills for increasing effectiveness in the areas which were vital for cognitive learning. Whichever teacher needs to have in-depth knowledge, it was an eye-opener for the faculty members, and thus adding a very key psychological amalgamation with technical pedagogical challenges have woken up many of us. The importance of knowing the flip side of the learning difficulties the present day generation of students face due to problems in attention span or issues like as how much to improvise the concentration, including verbal and non-verbal areas of communication. The culmination day wherein the demanding area of higher order thinking skills with the importance of increasing positivity in thinking that directly influences the personality as well as outlook towards life for both teachers and the taught were discussed. The day also had very important areas for the faculty to develop their career guidance skills to students, which is very vital in higher education. That every teacher had the opportunity to learn the nuances of bringing interest towards a career and the knack of choosing the same with pedagogy on placements. I am sure that the wealth of information that shall be nurtured to applications and wisdom shall now rest on the teachers who attend this 5-day program. I shall congratulate Sister Rosemary Balappa and her 9 departments, both UG and PG departments, for having teamed up to bring a feeling of having a right mix of enjoyable and memorable learning experiences to take away from Tejon College FDP programs like always it has. I wish the entire team to further the standards to next levels from here, to raise the bar of standards of teaching learning process, which is already a culture in Tejon College. It is time that every teacher understands the need of the hour of the world. that is wriggling from the tragedies of various kinds, and yet the learning is never stopped for any reason whatsoever. And with the support of technology and trying circumstances that demands learning always, T-John College will strive to give its best in the form of knowledge sharing as faculty development programs in coming days too. My heartfelt thanks to the organizers for giving an opportunity to address this elite gathering from various institutions from across the country, and wishing you all the very best. Happy teaching, learning in your careers. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Chairman, sir, for the inspirational words of wisdom. May I now request our respected principal, Sister Rosemary Ballappa, to give us an overview of the one-week faculty development program. Over to you, sister.
Thank you, Justice Joyce, sir. Thank you, Justice Joyce, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. With immense joy, I am proud to present the overview of T-John College one-week online faculty development program on technical pedagogy for empowering sustainable advances in higher education. First and foremost, the topic was technical pedagogy in academic research for easy learning, presented by Dr. Senthil Kumar, Head Department of Textile Technology, PS Polytechnic College. Technology has gifted many educational tools to enhance learning and teaching experience. We can say pedagogy is the driver and technology is the accelerator. Creation and dissemination of knowledge through research is one of the core functions of higher education institutions. Research to be educative with researchers, teachers, and learners developing understanding along each other. Our methodological approach takes dialogue as a founding principle. We therefore can argue that the expert panel methods, video stimulations, dialogue, and group diary methods are methods that teach. Moreover, Mr. Senthil have explained, aligned in a socio-cultural principle to recognize both the richness of context and importance of negotiated knowledge that is transformative for those engaged in methods education, teachers, learners, and ourselves as researchers. Thank you so much, Dr. Senthil Kumar, for presenting this topic. And the next topic was project-based learning and patenting, presented by Dr. Putili Bai, a chemistry professor from Sri Sai Ram Engineering College. From her presentation, we could learn that in the context of changing world, science and technology play its important roles in all levels of community. She stressed that organizations need to develop students in terms of scientific knowledge and promote students to think critically by doing empirically based on nature of science and scientific literacy. The pedagogical aspects need to have inquiring mind in science and make them to meet both science in appropriate ways. Also, she mentioned about the instructional strategies in School of Science that should all allow students to meet the goals of science education, which enables students to observe their natural environment to develop skills required to understand and explain things on their own. Thank you, Dr. G. Punitibai, for presenting this topic. The cryptocurrency, the next big thing, was presented by the Tushar Saubarai, assistant professor from NSS College. Cryptocurrency is the big thing right now. The session was focused on various aspects of cryptocurrency, covering the history and the emerging future of it. The speaker gave his insights on the blockchain technology and the networking, which plays a vital role in the functioning of the cryptocurrencies and its trading. Cryptocurrency, a digital currency in which transactions are verified and records maintained, is in simple terms, cryptocurrency is a type of digital virtual money, and it exists only in electronic form. It is used to buy and sell things, and of course, it is a big thing right now. Thanks to you, Mr. Tushar Saubari, for your inputs and insights. 5G technology was presented by Mr. Gautam Pandiparthi from I Do Tech Solution Private Limited. The fifth generation of wireless technology promises more than just a faster, more capacity, lower latency, and spectrum better than 4G network. Mr. Gautam Pandiparthi has covered the topics like introduction and underlying technologies, generations of mobile networks, will 5G affect the global economy, usage, predictions of 5G, speed and peak data transfer rates, availability of the 5G technology, devices and gadgets. The first nation to adopt on a large scale was South Korea in April 2019, at which point there were some 224 operators in 88 countries around the world investing in the technology. Broadly speaking, 5G is used across three main types of connected services, including enhanced mobile broadband, mission-critical communication, and the massive IoT. Moreover, he explained how evolving 5G for smart transportation and evolving 5G in automobiles were really informative. Thank you, Mr. Gautam Pandiparthi, for sharing with us your in-depth knowledge of 5G technology. Technical advancements in food and beverage science industry was presented by Mr. Deepak Ratnavelu from Territory Manager Brown Foreman India Limited. In his presentation, he helped us to understand to accelerate food and beverage service industry is one of the driving force of the global economy through technological support. It encourages adoption of new technologies in this industry to fundamentally reshape the way in which services are provided and received. In this presentation, Mr. Deepak presented how participants can explore some of the state-of-the-art technologies currently employed in the food and beverage service industry, and how they are improving guest experiences and changing the hospitality service platform. Thank you, Mr. Deepak Ratnavelu, for your presentation and in-depth knowledge of technology in food and beverages. CLO 3D software advanced illustration was presented by D. Pavitra Basilica, educator, graphic designer, and pattern master. CLO is a 3D fashion design software program creating virtual true-to-life garment visualization with cutting-edge simulation technologies for the fashion. Before it was just Photoshop and Illustrator, more for surface design, where students could do 2D format. She presented how educators can learn a new software where they can learn and teach the students as well the fashion profession to upgrade their knowledge. It was really eye-opening to see how the CLO 3D software advances illustration help the fashion industry. Thank you, D. Pavitra Basilica, ma'am. Effective communication for effective pedagogy was presented by Mr. N.G. Narasimhaya, Assistant Professor and HOD from Vijaya Evening College. We all know that communication is a complex process. Pedagogical communication is defined as the mutual exchange of information between the participants of the educational process by means of verbal and non-verbal expression. In a way, he has explained the effective communication for effective pedagogy was a really in-depth knowledge that we all could learn from him. He explained develop communicative competency of the individual and empower how it can empower students to look forward to a classroom which is ideal, real, and virtual. Thank you, Mr. Narasimha. The second section of the day was, the title of the day was Cognitive Learning Strategies for Effective Teaching. Presented by Miss Triveni, Assistant Professor Psychology, Karnataka University. She explained about the development and understanding of techniques and strategies to improve teaching learning experience. One cannot deny that teaching and learning are two sides of the same coin. As we see, cognitive learning experience involves critical thinking, reasoning, and remembering what is spoken. An understanding of techniques and strategies to improve this learning experience enhances the teaching learning experience completely. Thank you so much, Dr. Triveni, ma'am, for enlightening us with this topic. Higher order thinking skills was presented by Ms. Ashwini from Mukta Foundation. She explained contextual significance of Bloom's taxonomy because it lays out a framework for understanding the different levels of learning. She explained clearly how it shows us the order in which we must teach our students various things so that they can reach the higher level of thinking that we want them to achieve. It is a skill of an individual to utilize in order to improve learning process and critical thinking, that who employ high order thinking skills understand how to analyze and evaluate complex information, categorize, manipulate, and connect facts, troubleshoot for solution, understand concepts, connections, and big picture thinking, problem solve, and develop insightful reasoning. Thanks to you, Ms. Ashwini, for giving us the full explanation of Bloom's taxonomy. Teaching pedagogy and placement was presented by Anthony Fermin Alexander from Magic Bus India Foundation. Pedagogy is the relationship between learning techniques and culture. It is determined how students' learning outcomes should be helpful in developing their skills, leading to placements. The data challenges everyone involved in designing the teaching pedagogies and practice to consider the values and learning to perpetuate through placement education experience. Mr. Anthony Ferman Alexander, he has explained thoroughly, which I also attended, the importance of industry specialists to the coming to the campus, on-job training, mentor for students, employer connection, coach and a mentor. He spoke about life skills, relationship with the people, leadership skills, value-added courses, which all increase the employability of our students in a blink of an eye. He really gave us a roadmap to college placement. Thanks to you, Mr. Anthony Fermiman, for giving us the insights on placement. This FTP proved to be an eye-opening session for the educators of all levels, and also aimed at imparting the skills required to handle different tools and technologies that are useful for teaching and learning. I hope everyone was able to widen your knowledge by attending Teach-On College 1 week online faculty development program on technical pedagogy for empowering sustainable advances in higher education. Thank you all, and God bless you all.
Thank you, sister, for giving us the glimpse of 1 week FDP program in a nutshell. May I now request Dr. Felcy Juliet, HOD Computer Application Department, to honor our guest. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Justice Sir. Gratitude and honoring people is the great culture of India. As we are conducting this FTP virtually, we would like to honor all our speakers with virtual mementos. As a token of our appreciation and gratitude, now we would like to honor our beloved and highly respected Chairman Sir, Dr. Thomas P. John, for his continuous support for everything he do at Teach-On College. Thank you, sir. We would like to honor our first speaker of day 1, Dr. Sendil Kumar M., HOD of Textile Technology, PSG Polytechnic, Coimbatore, who spoke on technology in academic research for early learning. Thank you very much, sir. We like to thank and honor the second speaker of day 1, Dr. Putili Boy, Professor, Department of Chemistry, Sri Sai Ram Engineering College, Chennai, who spoke on project-based learning and patenting. Thank you, ma'am. As a gratitude, we could like to cherish our speaker of Day 2, Mr. Tushar, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce from NSS College, Kerala, who entitled us with cryptocurrency, the next gen. Thank you very much, sir. We like to appreciate our speaker of Day 3, Mr. Gautam, Director, Tech Savvy Bangalore, who spoke on 5G technology. Thank you very much, sir, for your presence. We could like to felicitate our speaker, Mr. Deepak, Textile Manager, Territory Manager, Brown Foreman Indian Private Limited, who spoke on advancement in food and beverage service industry. We thank you very much, sir. As an honor of gratitude, we like to thank the second speaker of Day 3, Ms. Pavitra Basilica, CEO of 3D Insulator, fashion educator, who spoke on advancement of illustration software. We thank you, ma'am. We thank Mr. Narasimhan, Associate Professor and HOD of Vijaya Evening College, Bangalore, who gave insights on communication skill for effective pedagogy. We thank you, sir. As a gratitude, we like to thank Dr. Tiruveni S., Assistant Professor of Psychology of Karnataka University, who spoke on cognitive learning strategy for effective teaching. We thank you, ma'am. We like to honor our Day 5 speaker, Ms. Ashwini NV, founder of Mukta Foundation, who spoke on higher order thinking. Thank you, ma'am. A heartfelt thanks to our last speaker of this 5-day FTP, Mr. Anthony X. Alexander, founder of Goodwill Consultant, who spoke on teaching pedagogy and placement. We thank you, sir. Special thanks and credit goes to all faculty crew who made this FTP program a great success. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Felsi ma'am. Now I request Mr. Praveen Kumar, HOD of FAT Department, to propose the vote of thanks. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Respected Chairman, Dr. Thomas P. John, Administrator, Mr. Roy M. Raju, Principal, Sister Rosemary Balappa, IQAC Director, Dr. C. Karthikeyan, our most valued guest speakers of this FDP, our chief convener of this FDP, Dr. Filcy Judith, all the heads of the departments, the staff, and all the dear attendees. It's my privilege to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. First and foremost, I would like to thank the Almighty for successful week FDP. I, on behalf of Tejon College and the entire supporting crew members, let me call a fraternity of scholars here together, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to all the speakers for gracing this event with your presence and sharing your knowledge and expertise during this 5 days FDP program. We were enlightened for bringing the culmination of knowledge by our guest speakers throughout this FDP program, which created a gateway for attaining the ultimate source of professionalism. For all our audience and of this faculty development program, July 2021. I thank all our audience for showing a great interest during this program. I don't want to miss the chance to thank all the Tejon College faculty members for their immense support. I thank all the heads of the departments, Mr. Paul P. Jose, HOD of Hotel Management, Dr. Filcy Judith, HOD of Computer Applications, Dr. Lakshmi SR, HOD of Management Studies, Ms. Priya, HOD of Commerce, Ms. Nilanjana Bose, HOD of Languages, Department of Languages, for associating and monitoring this event. More importantly, my deepest gratitude for the coordinators of this FDP, Dr. Indu GK, Department of Fashion and Apparel Design, Mr. Yuraj KP, Department of Hotel Management, Dr. Jinsi, Department of Management Studies, Mr. Vijay Kumar, Department of Languages, and my special thanks to the technical team, Mr. Nagraj, Department of Computer Applications, and Mr. Arish, Department of Computer Applications, for ensuring successful launching and smooth running of this event. My sincere thanks to our chairman, sir, for supporting and encouraging us in all the possible means. My deepest thanks to our administrator, Mr. Roy M. Raju, for his kind support. My heartfelt thanks to our principal, Sister Rosemary Balappa, for steering us at all the stages of this program. My heartfelt thanks to our IQAC director, Dr. C. Karthikeyan, for his efforts in ensuring the quality standards from all the aspects. It is an honor that I could deliver this vote of thanks on this auspicious 5 days FDP on technical pedagogy for empowering sustainable advances in higher education. Thank you. With great appreciation, I am happy to inform you that Tejon College will be conducting international conference on emerging trends in educational research on 16th of September 2021. I hope you can all join us again. Thank you. Kindly fill the overall feedback form for the certificate as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Praveen sir. With this, we conclude the valedictory program. Thank you one and all for joining. Have a great day.